So welcome to this video. My name is Alex, and in this video I'm going to talk about the fear frequency versus the faith frequency. So I'm going to begin by explaining what I mean by fear frequency and faith frequency, and then explain to you how you have a choice and that your choice determines your destination. Because what we focus on, what we choose to focus on, is literally the road we take. It's the path we take. So we can believe that we're being realistic if we focus on the fear frequency, on fearful thoughts, on the things that seem threatening in the world, the things that seem threatening in the media, the dangers in the world, the dangers in our life, the dangers the futures may hold. If we focus on those things, then we will essentially find ourselves in a world of danger, a world where we feel threatened everywhere, a world where we just cannot feel safe, we cannot feel secure, we can never feel at ease and at peace. And there's a lot of very compelling evidence for us to choose this reality, but it is not a wise choice. In fact, it's a very, very bad choice, although it seems like the most sensible choice because it seems like the most real option sometimes. It seems like we're deluding ourselves if we ignore that. We don't have to ignore it. You have to be aware of all the things you can choose, all the thoughts you can choose, all the realities, the scenarios you can envision, because our mind is an envisioning tool, and whatever we envision is essentially the direction we move in spiritually. So that's why it's so important to envision safety, envision protection, envision a path that is full of light, a path that's illuminated, a path on which you are protected, you are safe, and that there is no need to act on fear. No need to believe all the fearful voices. No need to believe all the fearful stories you may read. The stories that make you think certain things are going to happen in the future, which of course are very compelling. And our mind puts all these jigsaw pieces together and convinces us that there is danger, that the future does hold threat and things that we really don't want, things we want to avoid, or scenarios that are very unpleasant and disturbing. You know, it depends what we're focusing on. It depends what we're giving our attention to. Whatever you choose to give your attention to will determine your destination. So, the fear frequency is essentially what happens when we focus on the threat. And the media is full of threat, and how can I say this? All the conspiracy theories, a lot of which I know are not theories, that they're conspiracy fact, but when we focus on them, we are consuming our attention with the threat, and we're thinking, how can I protect myself from this threat? How can I be safe from this threat that seems to be slowly creeping towards me? Now, the other way of thinking is this. It's, okay, well, I'm not going to be ignorant. I'm going to be aware that those threats do exist. However, I'm not going to let my mind be consumed with thoughts of threat and self-protection from threat. I'm going to let my mind be consumed with thoughts of trust, thoughts that I'm protected from the threats. No matter what, no matter how threatening these threats seem to be, I will trust, and through trusting, my heart will be in peace, because that's how you have a peaceful heart. You have a peaceful heart by trusting that you are safe, trusting that you will be safe in the future, trusting that you will be provided for. Now, I'm not going to have a big debate about what it is that provides for you, or what it is that protects you. You know, there's no need to have that debate. All that we need to understand is that when we trust that we will be provided for, and when we trust that we will be protected, no matter what threat seems to be surrounding us, when we trust and then we allow ourselves to be in peace, then we inhabit a different reality, a different spiritual reality, which affects our material reality, of course, but we inhabit a different spiritual reality when we choose to have faith. Not faith in a God or faith in the certain spiritual deity, but just have faith that you are safe. Have faith that you will be protected no matter what. Have faith that you'll be provided for no matter what. Have complete faith, and we have to develop this faith. And it's a case of relaxing our heart, trusting, because when we trust, when our heart trusts, it relaxes. It stops being tense and anxious, because fear makes our heart tense and anxious. When we relax our heart, then fear cannot be present and anxiety cannot be present. This is one of the most profound but simple things to understand. When we relax our heart, fear cannot be present. It's impossible for fear to be present in our being, because a relaxed heart is a heart which is saying it's safe to relax. I am safe. I trust that if I relax, I trust that there is no threat, because when there is no threat, only when there is no threat do we relax. As long as we sense a small degree of threat, then there is tension in our heart, and that tension spreads to the rest of our body, to our shoulders, to our hands, to our face, to every small part of our body. When there's tension in our heart, then fear is present in our body. So when we relax our heart, allow our heart to trust and relax, when we do that, then peace replaces the fear. Peace spreads. A relaxed heart propagates peace around our body. And this is beyond some mental understanding. We have to feel this. We have to experience it. We have to remember how good it feels to be free of anxiety, to trust that we are not threatened. Because this is what the media, predominantly the media, is doing right now. It is creating this sense of threat being everywhere, that threat's going to come in the future, that threat is in our own mind, that we should be scared of our own thoughts, scared of our own ability to choose, negative thoughts, because we can choose fearful thoughts, and the reality that comes with those fearful thoughts is not a pleasant experience. We don't have to choose. It's so important to understand that we have to be super, super disciplined with our mind and not look at all these reasons to be afraid, not focus. And I know that they are very real and very compelling, that it seems like we should be aware of the threat and aware what we need to protect ourselves from and what action we might have to take in the future because of these threats. However, no matter how compelling those threats seem to be, we have to focus our mind on the light, on faith, on the trust, and don't let our mind veer to the threat, because the fear reality is a threat reality, and we have to stop focusing our attention on the threat. We can be aware of it. We can be aware that certain things may happen in the future, but that's all the more reason why we need to be anchored to this trust, anchored to this sense of safety that only comes that sense of safety, which is like a rock. It's the rock that we build our house upon, that sense of safety, which is trust ultimately. That sense of safety comes from trusting, because when we don't trust, then we fear. It's essential to develop this sense of trust that no matter what threats they may be, we will be protected, we'll be safe. Of course, action may be required from us, but it will be peaceful action. It will not be aggressive, and it will not be violent. It will be peaceful action where we remove ourselves from a scenario. We remove ourselves with due warning to a place where we will be safe. That's the only action that we will need to take.